Bonjour, French 1 students. Here is some information about lesson 12B, pages 175 and 176 in your textbook. B. La place des adjectifs avant le nom. Compare the position of the adjectives in the following sentences. Voici une voiture française. Voici une petite voiture. Paul est un garçon intelligent. Pierre est un beau garçon. So what you need to notice is, okay, here's our noun. I'm going to underline our nouns that are being described in all of the sentences. Okay. Now, I'm going to underline the adjectives that are being described in all of the sentences, or the adjectives that are describing those nouns. Oops, that's not such a great color. Let's try this. Okay, so here's my adjective that's describing une voiture. Notice it's feminine because it has that E. Okay. Here's my adjective that's describing un garçon. Here's my adjective that's describing une voiture. And here's my adjective that's describing un garçon. So notice, okay, in these two, it's the format we've seen before. It's article, noun, adjective. Okay. Notice that these two are different. Right? For these two, it's article, adjective, noun. Okay, so we're seeing a change in formatting here. So a few adjectives like petit and beau come before the noun they modify, right? It's coming before the noun, okay? The article des often becomes de before an adjective. Compare des voitures, de petites voitures. So, kind of summarizing here, most adjectives that you've learned are going to go after, follow the noun they describe, right? That's what we're talking about here, okay? However, there are 9 adjectives that don't. Okay? And that's what we're talking about right here. So, how do we remember those 9 adjectives that don't? We call these the bags adjectives. And these are our adjectives that go before the noun. Okay, we call these our bags adjectives. Now, that's because bags is going to help us remember. There are 9 of these adjectives. Okay, and bags is a way to remember what 9 they are. So for all of these bags adjectives we're going to talk about, our format is always going to be article, adjective, noun. Okay, and our adjective still has to agree. Okay, so it still agrees. Right? So you kind of see that here. Adjectives, these are adjectives that don't follow the noun. They go between the article and the noun, right? Because here's my article, here's my noun. Okay. They still agree in gender and number with the noun that they describe. So that adjective still has to agree. So, back to then these 9 adjectives and how we remember them. B stands for beauty. A stands for age. G stands for goodness. And S stands for size. Now, there's 9 total, and there's only like 2 each should be 8. So one of these has 3, and that is age. So for beauty, okay, the actual adjectives Our beau is the masculine form, and this is an irregular one. The feminine form is belle. So that's one adjective. It's just the masculine form and the feminine form. The other beauty one is jolie. Again, I'm going to be giving you masculine forms. Jolie, you add an E to it to make it feminine. Okay? Now, the age ones, there are 3 age. Okay? So there's 2 here, there's 2 here, there's 2 here. So that's 6. And there's 3 age ones. One of the age ones is vieux. Another age one is nouveau. And jeune. Now, a little note about vieux and nouveau. You may not use these yet. These are not regular adjectives. They don't follow that adjective pattern where you're given the masculine singular, you add an S to make it masculine plural. You're given that masculine singular, you add an E to make it feminine and singular. You're given that masculine singular, you add an ES to make it feminine and plural, okay? Vieux and nouveau don't do that. So I don't want you to use them, but I do want you to know that there are 9 of these adjectives. Okay, and where the 9 come from. For goodness, we said that there are 2, so they are bon, and the feminine form of bon is one of those ones where you add the extra NE to make it feminine, and mauvais. Okay, mauvais, you just add an E to make it feminine. And then the size ones are petit and grand. Okay, so again, this is probably a good time to write down some notes because you're not going to find bags anywhere in your textbook, okay? But, again, you might want to kind of jot down the meanings of these, right? So, beau, belle, you've learned this adjective before. Beau, the masculine form, typically translates as handsome. Belle translates as beautiful. Jolie is pretty. Vieux, even though you're not going to use it yet, is old. Nouveau is new, like N-E-W, new. Again, you're not going to use those 2, but that's what they mean. Jeune is young. Bon is good. Mauvais is bad. Petit is small or short. And grand is large or tall. Okay, so again, this is where those 9 bags adjectives that go before the noun that follow this format here, okay, where we're going to have our article, our adjective, our noun. So if we want to kind of talk about an example, if I want to say a large pizza, right? So the word for pizza is une pizza, and large is a bags adjective, so it's going to go between the article noun. So here's my article, une. Grande, now grande has to be feminine because une tells me the word pizza is feminine. So it's une grande pizza. Now, if instead I wanted to say a French pizza, because French isn't a bags adjective, it'd be une pizza française. Okay, so what we're seeing here is these bags adjectives, okay, have a different placement than the adjectives you've learned so far. They're going to go between their article and their noun. Between their article and their noun. Okay, that's where you place your adjective. So, again, if you need to write this down for notes, you can always pause this and give yourself a little bit more time to write. So, in your textbook, we have vocabulaire, les adjectifs qui précèdent le nom, right? Adjectives that precede the noun. And again, you'll see, right? They have 6 of them here. They have left off jaune, but jaune is, okay, an adjective you've learned, and it is a Bag's adjective. So, s'il vous plaît, répétez beau, belle, regarde la belle voiture, jolie, qui est la jolie fille avec Audrey, grand, nous habitons dans un grand appartement, petit, ma sœur a un petit ordinateur, bon, bon, tu es un bon copain, mauvais, Patrick est un mauvais élève, jaune. Right, kind of going through these sentences and thinking about how you translate them, right? We have look at the beautiful car. Who is the pretty girl with Audrey? We live in a large apartment. My sister has a small computer. You are a good friend. Patrick is a bad student. There is liaison after the above adjectives when the noun which follows begins with a vowel sound. Note that in liaison, the D of grand is pronounced like a T. So on grand appartement. And bon is pronounced like bon and bon élève. Okay, so again, these are 6 of the 9. You can use any of these 6. Remember, you're not going to use of your Bag's adjectives. Nouveau or vieux. Okay, because you don't know how to make them masculine and feminine and singular and plural. Okay, so don't use them, but I do want you to know that there's some of the 9. So, you also in this section have an expression pour la conversation. S'il vous plaît, répétez dis. Dis, Eric, est-ce que tu as une voiture? Dis donc. Dis donc, est-ce que tu veux faire une promenade avec moi? So, again, working through the translation, we're saying, hey, Eric, do you have a car? And, hey there, do you want to go for a walk with me? Okay, so, again, in French, there's kind of 2 sets of adjectives. There are what are called our regular adjectives. And, again, these are adjectives that follow the noun they describe. So their format is article, noun, adjective. And again, our adjective still has to agree, okay, in gender and number. Gender, again, meaning masculine and feminine. And number meaning singular and plural. Okay. Now, there are our Bag's adjectives. These go before the noun. So the format of this is article, adjective, noun. Again, though, this adjective still is going to agree in gender, again, masculine or feminine, and number, singular or plural, with that noun. Okay, so 2 different types of adjectives. The endings these all take the same endings. Okay, so they all take the same adjective endings. Okay, so again, you're always given that masculine singular form. To make that masculine singular form feminine, you add an E. To make that masculine singular form feminine and plural, you add an ES to it. To make that masculine singular form masculine and plural, you're going to add an S to it. Okay? That's not different. What's different is where they go kind of in your sentence or with respect to your noun. So your homework is on page 176, exercise 4. Opinion personnel, so personal opinions. Again, this is going to be an écrire, a writing one. Give your opinion about the following people and things using the adjective bon or mauvais. So you're just saying whether these are good or bad. There's not a right or wrong answer. It's your opinion. So Julia Roberts, if you know who Julia Roberts is. So we have Julia Roberts. Our prompt is Julia Roberts est une actrice. So you can say she's a good actress by adding the adjective bon, or you can say she's a bad actress by adding the adjective mauvaise. These are both Baggs adjectives. So their format's always going to be article, adjective, noun, right? And this is your adjective. These are your adjectives. So they're always going to go in your sentence between your article and your noun. And that's really all you're doing in these sentences. All you're doing in these sentences is adding either bon or mauvais to your sentence. Now, again, remember, these are the masculine singular forms. You have to make your adjectives agree. So, if we take a look at how about Britney Spears? I don't know if you know who Britney Spears is. If not, listen to a song by her and decide what you think. She's a singer, right? Your parents might know who Britney Spears is. So, Britney Spears est une chanteuse. Chanteuse is a singer, okay? So, I would personally say she's not really that great of a singer. So, I'm going to write that Britney Spears est une, there's my article. Now, mauvaise. And notice, I'm putting an E on mauvaise because une tells me that chanteuse is feminine. Now, if you think Britney Spears is a good singer, then your sentence would be Britney Spears est une bon. But again, I have to make it feminine by adding that extra N-E, chanteuse. So it doesn't matter to me whether you use bon or mauvais, okay? But you do need to make them agree, right? And our agreement is here because this is une, okay? Our agreement is here because this is une, okay? So you're going to write out those 9 sentences. Au revoir, à demain.